Body armour can come in many different guises these days, and as riding and racing has evolved over the years, so has the protection we wear. But do you really need it? What should you wear? And if you're gonna wear it, surely you should just wear as much protection as possible, right? Well, not quite. Like padding for other areas of the body, there are varying levels of protection that you can wear, from lightweight vests to all-out bodysuits. Let's chat first then as to whether or not you actually need to wear body armour. Now, this is an entirely personal choice, and it's something that only you, the rider, can make. But there are going to be a few contributing factors that may affect your choice, and here they are. Confidence. It might help boost your mental game by wearing body armour, back protector, chest protector. When you're dropping into a new line, or maybe a line that scares you a little bit, like the old jump line here at Forest of Dean, having that extra protection wrapped around you might sort of inspire you to push your limits that little bit harder, knowing that if you do crash, which does suck at the best of times, at least you're going to be as best protected as possible. Previous injury may play on your mind or still give you a bit of grief. If that's the case, I definitely recommend wearing body armour, because that way it might minimise the damage that gets done to re-injuring the area, or if it is, like I said, giving you a bit of grief, stop any more damage happening as well. This next one's more for the racers. Now, if you're looking to race at a high level or already do, then perhaps you are going to need, yes, a back protector, because a lot of countries governing bodies for cycling make it mandatory that you do need one. You've established you want to wear body armour then, but what's best? Which is best for when, who's best for what, and what's best for where? Well, let's take a look. Before you go choosing then, all good body armour will have a CE certificate. This means that it conforms to certain minimum safety requirements, so do make sure that it does have this before you go choosing. Now, when you do start to choose, you're going to find a lot out there, like I said, from minimal vests to full-blown jackets. So let's take a look at each kind and then you can make an informed decision. The vest style then, the most lightweight and breathable version of body armour out there, generally with a smaller chest protection pack, and the same with the back, but sometimes it does contain more as well. These are designed to be worn underneath tops and worn for long periods of time due to their thin nature and lightweight build. The next step up from a protective vest is a protective t-shirt. Now, the biggest noticeable difference here is the protection on the shoulders being added. So it's a similar makeup to the vest in the form of the similar materials, and it can be a similar style of protection in the same places, but just that additional protection on your shoulders, in this instance the form of a hard shell cup to really stop any scuffs or collisions with trees, which sadly do happen. With the upgrade of protection from soft shells to hard shells, you may also see the introduction of slightly more harder wearing materials as well. So just bear that in mind if a t-shirt style is what you're going to go for. These are generally designed for when the riding does get a little bit longer, a little bit tougher, and a little bit rougher. Lastly then is the granddaddy of protection, the full jacket. Now, this protects pretty much everything from the waist up. You'll find here additional protection over the t-shirt on the elbows. Back protection will increase, chest protection will increase. You'll find generally that these are only hard-shelled materials, but sometimes they are soft-shelled as well to make them a little bit lighter and a little bit more breathable. If you're looking at this kind of protection, then you're probably hitting the gnarliest trails out there. You're a downhill rider, you're an enduro racer, and you want the most protection you can. However, it's not just for racers. Like I said before, if you have had an injury in the past or looking to prevent injuries or even boost that confidence, then this could be the body armour for you as well. That's the type of body armour then, and their pros and cons and why you should and shouldn't wear them, but I thought it's better to hear things from the horse's mouth. So let's get two-time world champs point of view, Fabian Morel, on what he thinks about body armour. Fabian, thanks for joining me, mate. It's good to have
pleasure.
Good to have someone on with some first-hand back injury experience, if you like. Now, you've been obviously highly successful in downhill, EWS, and now EWSE. But back in 2014, you had a fair old crash, I think it's fair to say, where you did injure your back racing in Chile, wasn't it?
Yep, it's correct, yeah. I mean, obviously, mountain bike and injury is always part of the sport. It's a high risk and often high consequences issue that you can have. And today, I mean, the global message is like back in the days, protective were heavy, not flexible. You couldn't really wear them at all the time. And nowadays, the product and the fabric we are using are actually helping people to use protective every day. And when I had this injury back in 2014, I mean, it wasn't so much a back protector issue. It was mainly a head impact that compresses my spine and actually broke the vertebrae. vertebra, but if you take Brooke McDonald, for example, crash in the World Cup recently where he broke badly his vertebra landing on his back, it's clearly a sign where obviously the speed and the level of rider is increasing, even average rider, because product is faster, trails are getting better, so everyone is enjoying the speed and with it. So I think the protection that we are using now should be used at pretty much everyday standard.
The protection almost needs to evolve, I suppose, as the sport evolves. Like you said, tracks are getting gnarlier, bikes are getting faster, riders are taking more risk, especially when it comes to racing. So I suppose back protection in that sense needs to evolve with that and the level of back protection.
Well, if you look at it, back in the day, protective was for downhill bikes. You had cross country, full lycra, and downhill bikes, full protective top to bottom. But then came Enduro. And we wanted to have knee pads that was flexible enough to pedal, and also backplate. And now there is e-bike. So the evolution within helmet, protective apparel within the product has been massive. And as the sport is evaluating and as we have more and more usage of the protective as well, we need to have the development in line with that.
Okay, mate, so obviously since that big crash, do you always wear a back protector now?
Yeah, I'm honest with you, is like back in the day, I was putting a back protector mainly for downhill and when I was EWS racing.
Just racing almost.
Just racing, etc. Now when I go on my everyday ride, I have very thin knee pads that I can fit on. I have light gloves. We have open face, but very protective on the back of the helmet. And I put my back protectors simply because I have my pocket, I can put my phone, I can put the little parts I want, my multi-tool, etc. And all that is now so breathable and flexible that I prefer having this than wearing a backpack, for example.
So you wear one sort of almost on every single ride then. Are we talking minimal? Are you kind of a big suit type thing?
No, I wear minimal one. Like I have a small plate on the chest and a full back protector, but then no sleeve. And it's something that is very light and allow me to go on a long climb, etc. Yesterday we did 75 kilometers on e-bike and 3,500 positive. I wear it all day. It was warm, but it was more than comfortable.
So say for our audience, they're getting into racing. Obviously, you've got a long history in downhill, enduro racing. Now, downhill, back protectors are almost mandatory, but tell me about sort of pushing that and making it more mandatory in other types of races. Do you think back protectors should be mandatory?
Well, I was, as I said, I always been a big fighter of back protection. Even back in the day, that was not mandatory with UCI at the World Cup because I do believe it's rider security. And it's true that back in the days, you had this massive black plastic piece that was on your back, that was
like
heavy with the strap, and you look like a turtle, exactly. Now we have the chance to have other fabric again and lighter and really good protective, and we can see the evolution of usage that is going also within the races. Because you look at EWS, you look at EWSE, now it is mandatory. You have to wear the back protection.
And that's across all races,
and now that's across all races in every country. It's not a matter of national federation organization. It's a matter of global organization with GWS and UCI. And for me, this is a step forward. As we bring rider to ride faster, we need to have the security level going up with it. And I think back protector is in line with that.
Well, there we have it then, my body armor explainer. Now, hopefully that's helped you maybe pick and choose what you're going to wear next. But you know what? Let me know if you're a body armor wearer down in the comments below and why you wear it. It's really good to know what you guys and girls get up to out there. But that's it from me. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I'm out of it. Happy riding, and I'll catch you later.